Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a death battle! So, yeah, death battles have always been a very interesting thing to watch, and it always pits two people against each other. Sometimes it pits two people against each other you'd never expect. For instance, Deadpool versus PewDiePie, or versus Pinkie Pie from friggin' My Little Pony.
What?
It's really strange.
Well, it's because, number one, they both break the fourth wall. Number two, they're pretty much immortal. And three, actually, I don't know what three would be in that scenario. Just
Three, the people who made the channel took some drugs.
yes,
Something.
yes. And then of course there's ones that make pretty logical sense. For instance, Wolverine versus Raiden.
Yeah, Widowmaker
Versus Black Widow. Yeah. And then and now we arrive at Samurai Jack versus Afro Samurai. So
sort of makes sense.
oh yeah, oh dude, to me it does, because these two are probably one of the more badass samurai characters in all of fiction, especially modern day, because Samurai Jack, Samurai Jack, Back to the Past, and they also finished up Samurai Jack here recently, which we did a reaction series to, but apparently Cartoon Network didn't like that very much, and they claimed a lot of them, and I pretty much just took them down because I didn't want to risk getting the channel just destroyed because of that. Anyway, Afro Samurai though was actually, I remember when it first debuted on Spike TV. They actually showed the full R-rated version on there, and I remember it had it had Samuel L. Jackson, Ron Perlman as actors in it, and it had music by the RZA from Wu-Tang Clan, which love Wu-Tang Clan, dude, love Wu-Tang, and also RZA's a very talented producer.
I hear rumors that they are nothing to fuck with.
Yes, yeah, and as always, they want you to bring the motherfucking ruckus. Yet another one of my favorite Wu-Tang Clan songs.
Yes.
I'm not gonna
Bring
lie.
the motherfucking ruckus.
I thought for a long time it was an acronym, and it was like RZA.
Yeah, RZA.
How did you pronounce
Yeah,
that?
there's RZA, Jizza, there's a Ghostface Killer, ODB, rest in peace. There was Raekwon, and then there was then Method Man as well.
Oh yeah, Method Man.
Yeah, and I guarantee there's a couple more that I've forgotten. Which, sorry about that. I'm not as up to date on my rap lexicon as I used to be.
Yeah, you don't have to feel bad about that, Micah. I thought the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Because I always just saw it written in the music store, so I always just saw RZA, and I didn't put it in my head that you would pronounce that as RZA, I just it's like RZA, okay, whatever.
Well, RZA's pretty much the main guy of Wu-Tang Clan. He main producer and overall concept guy, and then you had the primary lyricist. Jizza was the primary lyricist, and then you had Method Man and Ghostface. Ghostface was absolutely crazy with some of his lyrics, but anyway, getting off topic like we always do. Haha. Anyway, Afro Samurai, voiced by Samuel L. Jackson. Samurai Jack, voiced by Phil Lamar. I'm interested to see who's going to win this, and what we usually do is we hear out both sides of the argument, and then we pause the video right when they're about to get into the battle, and we make our predictions. So, Anyway, let's get this video on screen, and let's get this show on the road. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Speaking of rest in peace, Screw Attack. Because now it's just
Among
death battle.
the soldiers of history, the samurai is one of the most prestigious and dangerous.
So let's pit two of the best of them in a fight to the death.
Samurai Jack, the warrior prince lost in time.
And Afro Samurai, who's one cold-blooded mother effer. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Long ago, in a distant land, Aku, the shape-shifting master of darkness, unleashed an unspeakable evil.
But a foolish samurai warrior wielding a magic sword stepped forth to oppose me. I mean him.
And that nameless samurai became known as... Jack.
Jack was out.
Jack.
Yo, Jack was
Jack.
Doesn't really strike fear into your enemies.
Young Jack was the son of a Japanese emperor who had imprisoned Aku years before. However, upon Aku's return, the emperor and his army were quickly defeated. The last of all hope remained in the hands of his son.
Oh, look how small he is. Well, to prep for beating the snot out of Aku, little Jack traveled the world, training with the best of the best.
Most notably, he learned horseback riding from a sheikh, staff fighting in Africa, wrestling from gladiators, axe throwing from a Russian boyar, mounted combat from the Mongols, martial arts from Shaolin monks,
and archery from freaking Robin Hood. You know, everyone's favorite talking fox. Ooh, da lolly.
Wrong Robin Hood.
That's your opinion.
Jack's progress was exceptional. At just 8 years old, he defended a whole village from a band of marauders.
All before he could even legally drink the good stuff. 17 years later, he was ready for the final boss. He just needed one more thing. His pajamas.
No, his katana.
Katana, pajama, tomato, Alfredo. It's all the same. But before Jack could put his training to good use, Aku pulled a bitch move and zapped him hundreds of years into the future.
What a waste. Just like when you spend 4 sleepless years struggling through college and then find out too late that nobody cares about your English major.
I thought you graduated from the School of Evil Science or something.
Well, you still have to pick a major.
Should have chose a more practical one, Wiz, like mine. Anyway, even though he was trapped in the future, Jack stuck to his mission to get back to the past and take down Aku. And he had the right weapon for the job.
See, Aku cannot be harmed by conventional means. Thus, a special blade was forged by gods from Norse, Egyptian, and Hindu pantheons. This mystic sword is nearly unbreakable and absolutely incorruptible.
And boy, is Jack's katana an extremely effective weapon.
It can absorb and redirect energy, including fire, vaporize beings of evil, and slice through nearly any substance, even adamantium.
The Wolverine super metal? Why is that there?
Probably just coincidental naming, but it is shown to be stronger than steel.
Of course it is. So the sword's pretty awesome, but so is Jack. He's strong enough to push over this giant pillar, tough enough to survive a fall from orbit, and fast enough to defeat 6 bounty hunters in the time it took for 1 drop of water to hit the ground. By timing the drop, all this had to have taken place in about 1/3 of a second. He's like a ninja samurai. Ninja Mirai.
Actually, he is trained in ninjutsu, which probably helped when he was forced to dodge beams of sunlight. For this one in particular, it's clear Jack began dodging after the beam was fired. By examining both Jack and the beam's movement frame by frame, we've concluded his highest reaction speeds must be nearly 70% the speed of light.
Damn, that's fast. What can he do? Next thing you'll tell me he has the power to fly or something.
Well, Jack can't fly, but he did learn how to...
jump good.
Yep.
Yes, that. By strapping a giant boulder on his back, which compared to his height we can determine to weigh 39 tons, Jack learned how to leap high enough to clear these trees.
Crouching tiger, hidden samurai. These trees are pretty big, and this jungle has a bunch of these ugly baboons running around. And if I were a betting man, which I am, I'd say that this is the African rainforest, where the average tree is about 130 feet tall. Tips on Jack from my basketball team. Guy's got hops.
We haven't even mentioned the time he survived several exploding missiles with his friend, the Scotsman.
Why does he look so familiar? Well, I like him.
With so much talent, it was only a matter of time until Jack found his way home and defeated Aku once and for all. But it took a lot longer than it probably should have. 50 years, in fact.
Yeah, good thing time travel makes you stop aging for some reason. But Jack's a good-hearted soul, like a Boy Scout who hasn't discovered Twitter yet.
He can be pretty gullible when it comes to more devious opponents. Also, he continues to prolong his lonely journey over and over, just because he frequently puts the needs of others before his own. Still, the forces of evil should watch out for Samurai Jack.
That was a common
The
staple
stories
with,
that surround
Dimitri
the two
Tartakovsky.
sacred
It is
headbands
that-
are as
because
many as
Bubbles
the
and
men
Powerpuff
who
Girls
died
said
in
the
their
exact same
pursuit.
thing.
What's so special about some strips of head cloth?
Legend says they were created by the gods, or they can grant the wearer supernatural powers. But in truth, the headbands only bring pain and loss. Such was the case with Afro Samurai.
Wait, did his parents really call him Afro? Talk about setting big expectations.
Well, no, it's a nickname, but even if they did, have you seen his dad? I think they knew what to expect.
Damn, just look at it. Oh, and hey look, he's got the #1 headband.
Here's how this works. The person who wears the #1 headband is said to rule the world, and the only person who can challenge the #1 is whoever possesses the #2. In contrast, anybody can challenge the owner of the #2 for the right to wear that headband, and thus gain the right to challenge the #1.
So, like, you just work your way up so that only one guy in the world can challenge you? So where do I get one of these headbands? Then no one will mess with me.
Actually, the opposite would probably happen, which young Afro witnessed firsthand when some freak named Justice showed up with the #2 and killed his father right in front of him.
Why does this always happen? You know, I always thought parenting was the hardest thing about being a dad, but at this point, I think it's just actually staying alive if your kid's ever gonna do anything great. Or just sticking around for them.
Despite knowing that he was effectively creating a future challenger, Justice left Afro alone to mourn his loss.
So, of course, Afro swore revenge and started learning swordsmanship under a swordmaster named Swordmaster. Who the hell is naming these people?
Through Swordmaster's training of sword mastery, Afro learned the traditional samurai fighting styles of Kenjutsu and Kendo.
Kenjutsu is all about how to kill an opponent as fast as possible, while Kendo is more about discipline and being zen and stuff. Naturally, Afro preferred the more kick-ass one.
Right, Swordmaster's goal was to refine Afro's body and mind, instilling upon him a sense of honor, or Bushido. But that didn't quite mesh with Afro's thirst for vengeance.
So when he found out that Swordmaster had the #2 headband all along, he knew what he had to do. And now he could take down the guy who killed his dad.
Alongside his new friend, / burden, Ninja.
Oh, come the f*** on! Where'd this guy come from?
Now don't we look like shit? How you been, man?
Well, it's not entirely clear. He's there, but at the same time, not there. Ninja is believed to be the guardian of the #2 headband, but all he ever really does is talk, and talk some more.
He got arrows and grenades and shit. You ain't got no chance, dude.
Though it's also possible Ninja is simply a figment of Afro's mind, brought about by psychological stress.
You know, I have an imaginary friend.
Aren't you a little old for that?
Not for Al Gundy. He's a gun who also talks to me. He tells me to do stuff.
Okay. Anyway, to
Well,
be honest,
they can
calling
learn
Afro a
something new.
samurai is a bit misleading. He's actually more akin to a ronin, a samurai with no master. And so, with his swordsmanship perfected, Afro wandered the world searching for justice, carrying an arsenal fit for revenge.
Including his father's sword. This super long blade has lasted through decades of battle without much issue.
You know,
Perfect for kicking some ass.
A little bit of a thing here. I don't know if this is gonna benefit anything. I think maybe it would have been pretty cool if they called him Afronin instead of Afro Samurai, because samurai means to serve, but he's only serving himself, so he's a Afronin. Yeah, well.
Never thought of it.
He also has a steel comb, which can be a surprisingly effective offensive and defensive tool.
And since he doesn't care about that honor BS, he's not afraid to play dirty by attacking with his sandals.
But while on the road to justice, Afro's #2 headband attracted all manner of dangerous enemies. Luckily, he's more than capable of dealing with each and every one of them.
He's strong enough to cut other swords in half, throw his sheath through another guy's throat, and even tear off metal arms.
Pretty impressive, as many modern metals have tensile strength as high as 80,000 pounds per square inch.
Afro is fast enough to cut bullets out of thin air, and even a laser beam.
I should note that it's not a plasma-based beam. It bounces off reflective surfaces, doesn't explode upon contact, and it's literally labeled a laser. This means Afro blocked a beam that moved as fast as light, more than 670 million miles per hour.
Get this, That laser beam came from a robot version of Afro. Talk about metal! This Afro droid could easily smash up a car, and our boy Afro just tore it apart! He's survived getting hit by rockets, including this RPG that fragmented a giant cliff face.
RPG in a backpack?
I think I smell math coming.
This tree nearby is most likely a Japanese mountain ash, which can sometimes grow as high as 30 feet. With that in mind, we compared its height to the fragmentation created by the explosion, and compared the resulting surface area to the shear force for granite. With this, we deduced the RPG's highest possible explosive yield must be around 72 tons of TNT.
Damn, what kind of mega rocket launcher are these guys packing? Where do I get it?
Many stood in his way, and Afro didn't get through them all unscathed.
But by the end, he cut down justice, took his revenge in hand, and proved to the world that Afro Samurai is #1.
Why you gotta kill all my men? Why you gotta kill me?
Nothing personal. It's just revenge.
Okay.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, looking at these swords makes me want to sharpen my knives for my Blue Apron meal tonight.
Blue Apron. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Okay. Who you got and why?
I'm going with Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack? Okay.
I think his training and everything. I think the sword that he's got. I think that they both have the ability to move at the speed of light, so it's going to be kind of interesting. But
Yeah.
I'm going with Samurai Jack.
Okay. Micah?
I'm gonna be the same. I think because they are so fast, because they both like basically dodged light, which is
Impossible.
kind of, yeah.
But
It's so extreme, but I feel like it's gonna come down to durability. I feel like surviving re-entry, falling from space, is a little bit more durable than just an RPG blast.
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
So, samurais, basically extension of their body is their sword.
Yes.
And while it said that Afro Samurai sword is very
Durable.
I think that Jax is going to be more durable because it's basically indestructible.
Yeah,
So-
it's forged by gods.
I feel like that's going to be the key, and if Afro Samurai's sword is destroyed, he's going to lose the fight.
Yeah.
So I think that might be what's going to happen. So I think I'm going to go with Jack.
I'm pretty much gonna make it a shutout on all one side. I'm gonna go with Samurai Jack as well, because Jack's training, like you said, Micah, the durability on re-entry, and also just overall, I think Jack's just got more skill. But yeah, I guess we'll have
Probably
to see.
doesn't have lung cancer from all the cigarettes.
Cigarettes, that's weed. He smoked.
Well, it said cigarettes on the thing.
Oh,
like,
true.
on the
Yeah,
title.
true.
That's why I said
like
that.
hand rolled cigarettes. But instead, he just suffers from not aging because of the curse. But anyway, so we're all going towards Samurai Jack. So we're either gonna all be correct or it's gonna be a shutout, and we're all gonna be, scratching our heads as to why. So anyway, here we go. Let's see who wins. Ah, yes, the bridge. Never. Yeah. Never underestimate a man with a basket on his head.
Your sword smells of blood. So does yours.
Ouch. going down. Or not.
Huh. You jump good.
Oh, thank you.
Uh-oh, going down. Incoming. Oh. Oh! Damn, Jack. But Afro's gone too. Ew!
Gross. Oh, he took the headband.
So, yeah, there you go.
So, like, is he gonna get his arm back, or?
Afro was an exceptional warrior, and his skills would absolutely dominate most sword fights. However, Jack has had a lot of experience with opponents who fight dirty, and Afro could not stand up to his physical superiority.
Yeah, Afro never showed strength like how Jack lifted that 39-ton boulder.
Jack could react as fast as 70% the speed of light. Afro did block that light speed laser beam, but based on the distance between him and the Afro droid, he only needed to react around 21% the speed of light to do this, still putting him at impressive relativistic speeds, but not even half as quick as Jack.
Also, while Afro survived that mega-sized RPG explosion, don't forget how Jack survived a fall from orbit.
While it does seem the spacesuit was responsible for Jack surviving re-entry, it certainly can't be held solely accountable for the final impact. Starting his descent from the Kármán line, or the boundary between Earth's atmosphere and space, Jack covered a distance of 62 miles in just under 7 seconds, moving well over terminal velocity.
Thanks to being propelled by exploding space beam.
Which means his top velocity was approximately 37,000 miles per hour. Adding the spacesuit's weight to his own, this means his impact force must have equaled about 19 megatons of force. Way more than anything Afro survived.
And then he just got up and walked away. Badass. In the end, Jack was just too fast, too strong, too tough, and too well trained for Afro to handle.
The winner is Samurai Jack.
So there we go.
We were all right.
We all got it.
Wasn't the reason I thought it would be, but still got it.
Well,
I knew his training was going to come in, and I knew his sword, and then the ability that he has to jump like that.
yeah, there's a lot to him that really makes him the superior like,
sure.
warrior. Because, the African stick fighting, the Mongol horseback training, the even the archery from Robin Hood. Everything has its benefits.
Yeah.
And also the sword being indestructible, pretty much, and also, Jack's durability, which is freakish. I'd say along the lines of almost a Saiyan, like from Dragon Ball Z.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there was more going on there with the curse. Like, it wasn't just he couldn't age, but like it was also like Aku was the only person that could actually kill him. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of see that seems to be the implication. Like,
so honestly, I think we all did really good just breaking that down and making our point and everything. I mean,
Our points were pretty much the exact points that they made.
yeah, and it came down to endurance, and it came down to fighting ability, and Jack just had more of it.
He lost an arm.
He lost an arm. Yeah, you could say he was disarmed.
At least if he's still in the future, they can make him a robot hand or something.
that's true.
That is true. They could just steal it from. He could steal it from another robot and just be like, "With this attach." Ow! No, it will not. And then he'll come across some tech nerd who's just like, "Oh, you lose your arm. He's like, yeah, I lost my arm. He's like, oh, I built you a new one. And then you get the whole Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, where all of a sudden it's this like puppet prosthetic arm, and he's like, how is this practical? He's like, it's not. Just work with it. He's like, okay, and just
totally attach an axe to it if you want to.
That's right. And a grappling hook. And a firecracker slot. So you can like throw firecrackers at your enemies. And then also the what's the one? It's like the spear shot where you can actually like spear people and pull them to you.
Yeah, it's the loaded spear.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a freaking hard game.
I've never played it.
Sekiro, more like Sekino.
Basically, this one boss I was stuck on the other night for a while has two phases. It's a monkey, and it's got a sword stabbed through the top of its neck when you come across it. Once you get its first health bar down, he decapitates it, like with the sword that's in it. Like the sword flies out, sticks in the ground, and it falls down, and it gives you the screen like you beat it and everything. Then after a second,
It's like a second
stands back
form.
up and picks its head up in its hand.
Of
and
course.
keeps coming at you and uses the sword in its other hand.
Yeah.
And you kill it finally, and you think it's finally dead. And then you're playing, and then you come along. Oh yeah, I probably should have said spoilers.
Spoilers.
But you come along in this cave later on, and you see this thing standing against the wall, and I was immediately like, "You gotta be shitting me."
It's still fucking alive.
Yeah,
That
and
dang
it turns
monkey.
around, and it's the same fucking monkey, and it's got 2 health bars again this time. You can see it shows you it's got 2 health bars now.
Damn.
You get the first health bar down, and it wasn't that hard because I'd already learned all his patterns from fighting him the first time and everything, you know. And then so he backs off and he roars, and then another fucking monkey drops down from the ceiling, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I remember, I was actually in my room and I was laying down because I was just like not feel. It was during my sinus infection, and all of a sudden I'm just laying there and I'm just like I hear
What
the fuck?
So
and I'm like Nick.
was the second monkey already beheaded, or was he like
No,
complete?
The second monkey still had its head. It only had 1 health bar, thankfully, but you had to fight 2 of them at the same time. It was some bullshit.
Did
I
you
said,
win?
I
Did
said
you
that
win
like
though?
6 or 7 times. I was like, "This is complete bullshit."
But
It
you
was
still
like,
beat
In
him.
what fucking universe is this fair? And
But you still beat them.
yeah, I still beat them, but
You are an OG.
fuck that game.
Well, it's a tough game. It's not easy.
It's a bastard of a game.
Fair enough. But
There was one boss that like I was just fighting over and over again, trying to learn this stuff in it, and like there was this one guy that you have to kill like on the way to him that's to your left in the door, and there was several times where I walked out and like I was crouching behind him and I hit the button to stab him, and instead of stabbing him to death, I just went whack and just whacked him once, and he turns around and he's like, "Oh!" and I was like, "Fucking thank you, game." And like just getting pissed off at it, and like eventually like I got to the point where I died, and like I just was like.
yeah,
Done.
he just turned
Just
everything
done.
off.
I
He
didn't
was
turn it
done.
off, I just fucking clicked "be right back." I just didn't say anything to anybody in chat or anything. Just like, oh,
Oh, you see, you're
Be
live
right
streaming
back.
then?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I've been live streaming the whole playthrough.
After these messages, we'll be right back. And you did come back eventually, right?
Oh yeah, it went.
God.
I just was in the silent rage mode where I didn't even say I'll be right back. I
You
just,
just went
click,
downstairs and started smoking a cigarette. You're just like
pretty much.
it's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. Fucking monkey.
And my buddy did the same thing. I was watching him play it, and I was trying not to spoil anything for him, you know. And he had finally beat the monkey. He's like, "Thank God that fucker's dead," you know. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm waiting to see if you're about to quit here in a minute when you see what this next boss is." And he comes in the cave, and he's like,
No.
"Is that the fucking monkey?" And he's like, "Yep." And he's like, "I just killed this motherfucker, and they're gonna make me fight him again." And then the second monkey comes down, and he's basically does the same thing. What the fuck?
Yeah. Which, as you do. Oh, God. So, Death Battle, Samurai Jack versus Afro Samurai. We all picked right. And what did you all pick? Let us know in the comments down below, and let us know why you picked them. And if you think that this Death Battle had some inaccuracies, you know, feel free to vent your frustrations down in the comment section as well. Excuse me. And if you want to leave a like on the video, we'd greatly appreciate it. If you want to see the original, link is in the description. And if you want to see more from us, right down here somewhere is the subscribe button. and the notification bell. Hit those. You know what to do. And until next time, signing off, I'm Nate.
Chelsea.
Micah.
I'm Nick.
And we will see you all in the next one. Peace out.